The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety just revealed a bunch of new crash test ratings that they just conducted here, and there's a long list of them here, and there's several big surprises here among the list. And I'm going to start here with the poorest performing ones and go all the way down to the top safety picks. Now, this is not an exhaustive list. They've done a bunch of other tests this year, so you're going to want to go to their website. I'll include a link in the description if you want to, see your own car or to figure out, any cars that you're considering buying as far as how they rank. This is just the newest batch, not a fully inclusive list. But starting off with what some people might be surprised about the most is that the Ram 1500, the 2025, got a poor rating. And this rating, by the way, is for this new updated moderate overlap crash test, which really focuses on rear occupant safety. Because most modern vehicles, you have very good, front passenger safety. That is, there's still some exceptions in some cars that have failed in those areas. And there are a few others on this list actually where there are still some struggles with the front seat occupants. But all these tests are really focusing on that back seat now, because that's the next place we need to improve, is improving especially child safety. And these updated moderate overlap crash tests give you some real data on how little kids do sitting in the back seat there, and making sure that it's safe for them too. A lot of these tests, if the vehicle doesn't have pre-tensioners and load limiters on the rear seats, that's what really hurts it. But all these cars seem to actually have that, and some still just aren't deployed properly or well enough to give the proper protection. So getting back to the Ram is probably one of the most surprising ones, because people always think, oh, big truck, that means it's safe. And in a physics equation, yes, that does help you oftentimes. But, for those occupants, whenever they're crashing into especially a stationary thing or, another vehicle that's just hard enough of a hit, the rear seatbelts gave it a poor rating. And the reason why is you can see the child dummy there is basically like submarining, and the belt goes too far up the abdomen, which is really one of the biggest things that fails a lot of these vehicles. And the shoulder belt actually goes up towards the neck too. So that's a double combo of not having good performing seatbelts there. And so yes, clearly the Ram, there's a lot of work to be done. Now, some of the other trucks I believe have already been tested, but that's again the only truck in this new list of full-size trucks that has that disappointing rating. So hopefully Ram improves that for 2026. But for now, if a kid is not in a car seat, it's probably not the best situation as far as that rear seatbelt there. Moving on beyond the Ram here, the next one up is the 2025 to 2026 Volkswagen Tiguan, which is a brand new generation Tiguan, a very impressive vehicle. They're actually selling a lot of them. People are really excited about it because it's a very nicely done vehicle, and I reviewed it on this channel here if you're curious. But it got a poor rating for its updated moderate overlap. And that one is especially egregious because this is a brand new generation vehicle. And this test has been a thing for several years now. And they should have engineered and anticipated this for a brand new generation. And for whatever reason, it didn't cut the mustard here. So instead, it got a poor rating with, they say, a moderate risk to head or neck and chest for the rear occupants there. And again, the belt goes too far up the neck, and the lap belt goes too far up the abdomen. And, especially for that's a family crossover. Not great. And as you will see, there's many other family crossovers that, don't have this issue. And, I was rooting for the Tiguan. It's a really nicely done vehicle for the most part, but that is certainly going to be, just a bad mark on its, overall appeal if, people do their research about crash testing and care about that, which isn't everyone. But for those who do, just know not the best place for kids back there until they make improvements. But this does apply to, again, 2026s as well. So you're going to have to wait till either midway through the year when they can make changes to fix it, or maybe even 2027 model year. We'll have to see. But that's an unfortunate one. And again, a big surprise is usually next generations of vehicles fix that stuff. Another big surprise here was the 2026 Mercedes-Benz E-Class. Mercedes is very good with their safety ratings typically. Them and Volvo are typically the top two. I think they're the only two manufacturers that have their own internal standards that are higher than government standards and the Insurance Institute standards. And they've engineered to a very high degree. Obviously, it's a very expensive luxury car as well, so you should have everything at your disposal to make sure that it performs very well. Instead, the 2026 E-Class got a marginal rating for that updated moderate overlap here. And they say it's because there's marginal level restraints in the vehicle. That's the big downfall of the structure, and everything like that is, of course, fantastic. Like all these vehicles, they all perform very well for the most part, but it's just those restraints that need work. So marginal, they say, again, moved up the abdomen too much, and moderate risk to also head or neck with that, seatbelt back there for little kids. And so not a great thing. And again, that one, I would have never expected an E-Class to have an issue with that. Hopefully Mercedes fixes that quickly. Not sure why that happened, especially because, again, there's even stricter crash testing in Europe with the Euro NCAP, and the fact that this is the way it's shipping here is kind of crazy. So hopefully they fix that soon as well. And on the upside, a positive that was also a huge surprise to me was the 2026 Jeep Gladiator. That actually is the opposite. It got a good rating, but it doesn't get a top safety pick award because it has marginal headlights for the best headlights and poor headlights for the base headlights. And so that, in addition to the fact that it has no front pedestrian crash prevention, which is also something it really should have these days. I don't know why it doesn't, but those two things lacking are what mean that even though it actually did really good on the crash testing, it doesn't get that top safety pick. But so that's the crazy thing, is the Gladiator has properly done seat belts, but the Ram does not. And so that's, again, a very big shock. We've seen some wild crash tests in the past with, now Gladiator shares a lot with Wrangler, but it does have some truck components underneath that make it a little bit different from a crash standpoint. But, we've seen Wrangler where for the small overlap, it just like flips over the barrier and ends up landing on its side. All kinds of terrible other crash testing stuff. But, they did improve the Gladiator and the Wrangler in the past couple of years with side curtain airbags finally. And, obviously you can see it does crash test very well. So that's a pleasant surprise. I'm happy to see that Gladiators are safer than we previously thought. And moving on here, now everything else from here is going to be a top safety pick or higher, starting with the top safety picks. This one is another surprise, though, and that is that the 2026 Hyundai Palisade, again, brand new generation of the Palisade, only got an acceptable rating. Now, again, it does qualify for a top safety pick because as long as everything is acceptable or higher, it does, go for that rating there. But it got an acceptable because the belt did go up the abdomen still a little bit. But obviously, again, there's varying degrees. And so this one just, wasn't as bad as some of the others that ended up scoring a marginal. So it got an acceptable there. But, for a brand new generation and a family vehicle at that, it should be, top marks across the board. It's a little less. Again, not the end of the world, but, just a little bit of a surprise that didn't, ace everything. Another one here that also a little bit of a surprise is the 2025 Tesla Model 3. So obviously Model 3s do have a very good safety rating as far as the crash part goes. And it only, though, got an acceptable rating for, again, that updated, moderate overlap. Again, it is a top safety pick award, but the problem there is that the belts were in a good position. So that actually was fine. They did the seat belts well, but they say there's still a moderate risk of chest injury in the back seat for children. And so that's kind of strange. This is the only vehicle on this list that has good seat belts and good structure and everything else good, and still has some kind of, chest injury there. And I'm not sure what, the reason is for that one. But just know, it's still a very safe vehicle, but, it's not top marks across the board for everything. Moving on here, another brand new generation, brand new vehicle is the 2025 Acura ADX. And Honda and Acura do usually a very good job with crash testing, and you will see many of the others, do rank very highly. But the ADX, which is based on the Honda HR-V, but it's the new luxury version from Acura here. It's very nice. I reviewed it this year as well. But that only got an acceptable rating as well for that updated test. And again, does qualify for a top safety pick for that one as well. But the reason it only got an acceptable was due to marginal restraints with the lap belt, again, going up the abdomen, and also marginal, though, for the small overlap, lower leg and foot. So that means that for the driver up front, it actually didn't ace it. And there's, a risk of injury to your foot and your lower leg in a small overlap crash test for the driver. That's something that they should have gotten fine, no problem. So I'm not sure, why that's there. And again, the fact that it has the marginal restraints in the back is also not ideal. But again, it's still good enough to be a top safety pick. And if the IIHS, is confident enough in its safety that it, gives it that award, then it's still a very safe vehicle. So again, we're splitting hairs here. Doesn't mean any of these things are, death traps or anything. They're all very good, but just does mean that, it's just not quite as good as some of the others out there. Now, everything else from here on out is a Top Safety Pick Plus award winner. So very good, but there are still a few that have a few caveats. So I'm going to go over these a lot quicker because there's nothing else to really cover on them, but there are a few important caveats to note here for these other ones here. So again, all these are fantastic, very safe vehicles with a Top Safety Pick Plus award. But starting off with the 2026 Volkswagen Atlas and Cross Sport, those are actually good Top Safety Pick Plus award winners all across the board, but it did get a marginal side impact pelvis rating for the driver. So a chance of a pelvis injury for the driver, a side impact. So that's kind of also strange that hasn't been fixed, but the Atlas is old. I mean, that came out, I believe, 2018 model year. It's had some refreshes and I think a few little, structural improvements, again, to continue to keep up with those crash test ratings. But the fact that, a very old, relatively speaking, vehicle from Volkswagen is doing a Top Safety Pick Plus and does do those rear seatbelts very well, but then their brand new Tiguan completely fails with a poor rating is just, again, a strange thing that I don't understand how that happens. I'm sure there's a good reason. I'm just ignorant as to what that good reason is, but just kind of wild. And also goes to show that just because a vehicle is old does not mean that it's necessarily unsafe or it's, not going to be a very good, award winner. It very much could be. And the Atlas is a good example of that. And the Cross Sport, by the way, is included in that, which is the 2-row kind of sporty version. Moving on to the 2026 Subaru Forester, that is now once again regained its crown as a Top Safety Pick Plus award winner with a good rating across the board for everything. Forester did drop off last year because it did have some exposed deficiencies, I suppose, as far as, that rear seat and all those, restraints. And now 2026, it is back on the list as a Top Safety Pick Plus award winner. Glad that Subaru fixed that quickly and, got that to a better place. The 2026 Honda Passport, also a new generation here. That also good across the board. Top Safety Pick Plus award winner. Good job, Honda, on that one. The 2025 Tesla Cybertruck, for ones specifically built after April of 2025 here. Those are a good across the board Top Safety Pick Plus award winner. I think before that, again, there was, some stuff that wasn't quite as good, but April and on, you're better there and, very good across the board. And that being 9,000 pounds or so also, certainly helps you in a physics equation as well, but good to know the structure is also very good. Now, next up, we have the Kia Sorento, which for 2026 is a good rating across the board, Top Safety Pick Plus award winner. But for the 2025s and for 2026 is built before October of 2025 here, they're only marginal for the rear seat belts. So this is, again, a mid-model year change where they improved those rear seat belts very quickly, which is great to see, but just know you're going to have to, check your build date, or if you're shopping for one of these, make sure you check the build date there. It should be on the door jam to let you know that you bought one that is, actually after October of 2025 here, to make sure that you get those new updated restraints there to make sure you have, really good performance, especially for, those children in the back seat. Moving on here, we have the 2026 Infiniti QX60, which again, good across the board, Top Safety Pick Plus award winner. Now that one, the strange thing is it does get a marginal rating for the side impact for driver's pelvis, again, just like we saw with the Volkswagen Atlas there. I'm not sure, again, why some vehicles struggle with that. QX60 is a little bit dated, not quite as old as the Atlas there, but maybe there's something there that's causing that. But again, still Top Safety Plus award winner. And so no reason to really, critique that anymore. Moving on, there's the 2026 Lexus NX, which also good across the board, Top Safety Pick Plus award winner. The 2025 Audi Q5, which is the all new generation of the Q5, that gets a good Top Safety Pick Plus award winner across the board there as well. But interestingly, high-tech Audi, the headlights are only acceptable for the best versions, and they're actually marginal headlights for the base headlights on the Q5. And again, that's something where a lot of these other much cheaper vehicles have no problem with that. Not sure why Audi, didn't do a better job there on that. But again, thankfully, they're good enough that it doesn't keep it out of a Top Safety Pick Plus award winner, and the structure and everything else is very good. Those restraints are very good, and that's great to see. Also, the 2025 Audi A6 e-tron is also good across the board, Top Safety Pick Plus award winner. There's also the 2026 Genesis G80, which is also good across the board, Top Safety Pick Plus award winner. 4 models built after June of 2025. So that's another one where before that, I guess there's a change they made in June that improved that rating. So you probably won't have, as good of performance. Now, the G80 is still a very safe vehicle. It's always scored very highly with IIHS. So no matter what, you're getting a very safe vehicle. But if you want the best safety for the rear seat occupants, make sure that it is one that is built after June of 2025. And finally, one that is no surprise is that the 2025 and 2026 Volvo EX90 is a good, Top Safety Pick Plus award winner across the board. So yes, like I mentioned at the beginning, there's more Top Safety Pick Plus award winners on their website from, earlier testing this year. And you can always go back and see, what ratings everything gets for lots of vehicles over, the past couple of decades. You can go back and see. So it's really good that you have that database. I love what the IIHS does. It's very important to have a safe vehicle, especially, again, if you are transporting kids in the back. This new test is really good to see, and really great that we're focusing on this. And the car companies are responding and, improving their seatbelts as a result of these new tests. And that's why testing is good. Keep them on their toes. Make sure that we keep improving safety in cars, because it's something that still needs a lot of attention, with a lot of fatalities, a lot of injuries still in cars. We got to keep moving the ball forward on that. So I'm happy to see the IIHS doing that. And so anyway, let me know what the biggest surprise was for you out of all these vehicles in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more of these. I plan to cover more of these test ratings as they come out here throughout the year. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care.